Welcome to Beaded Doilies by Shell. In this video we are continuing my faceted bead art project ready for winter. I will be using 5 feet of string in this video. In the last video we ended completing a row, so we will be starting on a row, which means because this row is longer, we will actually first add the first 4 beads onto our string, and they are crystal. We're starting up here because we ended at this end of the pattern, so we're going to start right here. So we will add the first bead, which is the corner bead. Then we'll add 1 to each string, which is the bead on each side. And then we will cross, which is the bead right here. And that's very similar to how we started the pattern. Now, as all 4 colors are the same color, we don't need to worry about which string we use for our right string, but we will go through the first connecting bead right here. Make sure you don't go through the center top bead. You want to make sure to go through the first connecting bead. And now we are ready to continue the row. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 center crystal beads. So we'll be doing crystal for the first bit of our pattern. So we'll add to the left and cross. Bring our bead down. Then we'll go through the next connecting bead. Add to the left and cross. We'll go through the next connecting bead. to this next set, we will count up and see if we have on our 12 center beads. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Perfect. Okay, now our next set will be all jet. And then we need, we're entering our first orange. So we're going to add one light orange and cross with the jet. And now we want 3 sets of all jet. Now here we'll check by counting the outer beads. We have 1, 2, 3. So we have our 3 sets on. Now we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of light blue. Now, because we had no light blue in our previous ones, we can count the center or the outside. So I shall count the center, 2, 4, 6. Right, we have our 6. And we are going to finish off the row with white. Now, when we come to the end of this row, we will be doing something slightly different as we are at the corner of our pattern. So we will go to the end. As this row is longer than the other row, we will go until we've used the last connecting bead, and then we will do our last 3 beads, and I will show you how to get set for the next row, which is shorter instead of longer. Actually, at this point, why don't we take a quick check of our pattern, make sure that our piece is correct. So if you want to check yours to mine, I will check it to the pattern. Right, we look good. I hope you look good too. We're going through the last connecting beads. So these next 2 crystal will be the last set we will add before we set ourselves up for the next row. Alright, now I will bring this over, and we are here. We have just added these two beads here, so we've added these beads, and these ones here are already on. So what we're going to do is, just like before, we're going to take the right string, or the one coming in towards our finished rows, and we are going to add 1, 2, 3 beads to it. But we're not going to cross the third one. We're just going to add the 3 beads to our string. So there's our 3. We'll let them drop. Now what we're going to do is our top bead from our previous set, we're going to go through it so that the string is coming out on the same side that it's coming out on. And we'll let those, so we have our corner. Then we're going to go away from the beads that we just added, coming down. So we are going in this, we've gone through here, we're going down here, and then we're going to come out, and our other string is here, and both of our strings are going to be on either side of this bead. So now we want to come out. So we've gone in this one, down, and now we're coming out. So both of our strings are coming out on either side of the second outside bead. Now you will cross that bead. You'll take each string and enter it from the side that the string is on. tight. Now we want the string that is coming towards the end of our previous row, and we're going to add 1, 2, and then cross. And our next row starts with all crystal. So we add 1, 2, and then we cross. And there you have your corner. Now we'll go through our connecting bead, and we will continue the row just like previous, adding 1, crossing, adding, crossing, adding. And let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 center crystal beads. So we will use crystal until we have reached the point of 8 center beads. Let's take a quick look. Now we remember we're counting the center beads, so we want to count this first one as well. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we need one more. This next set, we'll want a jet, and a crystal. And now we want a jet and a light blue. Now we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets of light blue. you'll notice that one side of your string has gotten longer. This does happen, but with a square pattern. As you go each row, your strings will come back to the same length, and then one will get longer and come back to the same length. However, if you were doing a rectangular pattern, then one side would continue to get longer. And for those types of patterns, I would recommend using shorter string. That way you don't have to cut off as much as you go along. But if your pattern for this stitch is square, then your string will adjust itself as you go from row to row. Alright, let's see, we want to count the outside beads this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, so we need one more. Alright, now our next one is going to be light blue and jet. And then we're going to have 3 sets of orange. Now we need an orange and cross with a jet. And now the rest of the row will be crystal, so before we continue, let's check our piece, make sure that we are still on track. Okay, I look good. I hope that yours does too. And we will finish off with the crystal. this row is shorter than the previous row, we will stop actually too short of the connecting bead. So this will actually, this third one, 1, 2, 3, this third one will be the last set that we will add. And then we will take our right string, go through the connecting bead, and then we're going to add to the right string. Do I have enough? I think I have enough to do it. So we are now up here and we're going through this second bead. Our right string is through here, and we're going to add 1, 2, and then cross. Oh wait. Oh, I'm sorry. We've added these, so we're not going to cross. We're going to add 1, 2. So let's add our 2. And then we're going to do what we did on the other end, and we're going to go through the top bead of our previous set, going in towards our finished rows. Then we're going to go down and away from the beads we just added. And then we're going to come out so that both of our strings are now on either side of the second bead, outside bead. And we're going to cross that bead between our two strings. Right? So that puts on these, and we're now going to add 1, 2, and here's where we cross. Okay, so we want the string coming up towards the end of our row. We're going to add 2 beads to it. Then we're going to take both strings and we're going to cross. Now we'll do one more set, so we'll go through our connecting bead. And we are all crystal, so we will add both beads to one string, and then we'll tie our knot. First the regular knot, then the double overhand knot, remember, don't pull tight, just bring it down. Now slip your string inside your top bead, flip it and pull tight. And there is our piece so far. Now we will go ahead and thread back 2 center beads, which will take us right to the end of our row. And we will clip off the excess. And there we have our piece, and we will continue in the next video. Now, something I want to throw in, the beads that I am using are plastic. Now you're not going to be able to see this very well, but being plastic, they sometimes get what I call burrs, but it's just extra plastic along the edge of the bead. So this is one thing I like with my clippers, is I will go right where that extra plastic is, and I'll go around the bead and just clip it off. So you don't need to throw away any plastic beads that have extra plastic on them. Just go around and snip off, and there you have perfectly good bead. Now here's a black one. You might be able to see the plastic that is here around the outside edge. And just the same thing, you just take your clippers, and they do a really good job of clipping off that excess plastic so that you can use your bead. And when it feels nice and smooth, just put it right back into your pile. Hope to see you in the next video.